Can you guys hear me now? Please let me know if you could hear me now. Awesome. Okay. Perfect. Just didn't want to panic. I've learned not to panic. So that's awesome. Thank you. That's great. Okay. So as I was saying before you guys can hear me, first thing I was going to say is in the chat box, obviously let me know that you can hear and see me so we can troubleshoot anybody that cannot. And as well, I can't see or hear anything, but everybody else can see, correct? If you guys can see me. Okay, everybody can see me. Okay. So please refresh your page if you cannot see or hear me. Perfect. That's what I had to do. I had to refresh my page. Okay. So I wanted to say welcome everyone for being here and spending your Monday morning or afternoon with me. I'm grateful that you guys could be here and take that time to learn more about RefectoCil. You're very welcome, Jessica. So, today's webinar is all about the holiday season. I just got a little bit prepped back there, a little holiday edition with all our beautiful stocking stuffers. And we're going to talk about how to get your clients ready for the holidays with a lash and brow styling to complete both those services together. So in a minute, I want to start with my model, but if you guys want to give a little shout out of where you're from, I am in Canada, in Ontario, and specifically in Richmond Hill. So give a shout out to everybody. Las Vegas, welcome. Rhode Island. So we're going to get a lot of variety of people. So we're this beautiful community of professionals. So it's nice to let each other know where we're from. Idaho, Jessica's in Montreal. Someone else is in Richmond Hill. Welcome. My neighbor. Okay, awesome. Okay, so one thing I'm going to just mention before we start with the model is please leave your questions towards the demonstration part when I'm going to have some period of time with the timing solutions on. So please hold your questions until I get all the prep done with the model, and then we can do that in the solution timing, and I can answer any of your questions. Once again, today we're going to show a brow lamination, a lash lift, and tinting, because right now is where you should be having all these beautiful combos ready on your service menu to get your customers ready for the holiday season. Everybody's going to be seeking these treatments to get their lashes done, you know, for that Christmas party or for that New Year's Eve party. So be prepared, and be prepared with RefectoCil as well. Okay, so thank you everybody for the shout outs, and let's bring our model in and we can get this started. Thank you. Okay, perfect. And we're just going to raise it when you are laying down. Okay. Perfect. So I'm just going to get, and what we're going to do is we're going to put, nothing is working for Jasmine. Let me just tell her to exit. Give me 1 second. So far, you feeling okay with like the temperature here? Yeah. It's okay? Okay, so let me just tell Jasmine, yes, log in and log back out. Exactly. You'll have to actually log out completely from the platform. Oops, I spelled platform wrong. See, today, technical problems for everyone, huh? Okay, so let me move the camera towards our model, and you guys can let me know. I might get disconnected in the process of this, so please be patient because of my camera is a little bit loose. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. We had to disconnect the camera to fix it on the model. So let's see. Just had to disconnect the camera so that we don't make you guys go dizzy. And what happens is when we disconnect the camera, it disconnects the platform. It's very weird. But you guys can see our model. Everything good? You guys can hear me? And you can see the model? Perfect. I just want to make sure that it's not so blurry. Turn just a little bit this way. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so our lovely model today is Tori. So we're going to be getting her all glammed up for her early holiday parties. Okay, so we're going to do, as we mentioned, our lash lift, our brow lamination, and our tinting. So I'm going to prep first and put my gloves on, and then we're going to go through the steps, and you're going to see each of the product that I'm going to be using so that you can have a successful application and the results, okay, can be shown how they should be, showcase how they should, okay? So that's from the start to the end of what you're using can make a big difference in your results. And I'm going to be talking about a new tip that can help you even have your lash lifts showcase more, okay? So I'm going to do one thing though. I'm going to release this pillow. Tell me if you're going to be too uncomfortable if I release that. Is it too uncomfortable?
No, I can do it.
Okay. Okay. And then now we're going to have to move this a little bit back. Okay, perfect. So even when somebody doesn't come in with any makeup, you still got to follow with your prep routine, which means that we're going to start with our makeup remover. Okay. It's micellar, so I can remove any magnetic, like with its magnetic technology, any of the makeup, if there is anything like waterproof, but it's also non-oily, as you do need to use something non-oily to help not interfere with the service. Anything with oil in it can become a barrier when the solution's got to go on. But even though we're using the micellar, we always have to follow through with the saline after. So I will show that as well, since we're doing both lashes and brows. We'll prep both. When they come in without any makeup, obviously it's better, it's faster. But sometimes if they don't put any makeup in their lashes or their brows, they might put some powder or some foundation, and that can transfer a little bit into the brows and lashes particles. So we want to just make sure that we follow these two steps. Also, there's the environmental factors of dust and debris. As we can see, there is some residue, so we got to make sure, okay? And your saline solution is going to be the second kind of like security to let you know that you've released everything. There's nothing left behind. It degreases everything. So this eye has a little bit of mascara still on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Where did that come from? That's okay. It's all okay. But it's a great thing that there is some mascara because they get to see that this can happen with your customer. So we're just going to give that a little bit more of a cleanse with the eye makeup remover. And these, as I mentioned, these services for lashes and brows are going to be a great thing for the holiday, especially when there's a customer that just wants to work with their natural brows and hairs. These will be great services to add on. And create combo pricing so you can encourage them to try both. A brow lift and a lash lift, think about it, lift. They're both going upwards motion. It's going to give you a little mini facelift, a non-invasive facelift, okay? Okay, so now the second step will be your saline solution, okay? So this is going to help degrease. And the thing is, when I have some people who call and they say they've had some trouble with the results, and then I ask them, do you have the proper prep product? And they're like, well, I'm using this and this. Once they get the saline solution and they get the makeup remover, they see the difference. So remember, even your prep application makes a difference in the service coming out properly. RefectoCil has created a system. You want to follow along with that system, okay? And use the products from A to Z that are required in the system, to have the results, okay? And we do the brows as well. So what was used in the step number 1, Susie, was our RefectoCil eye makeup remover. I'll show them in the screen. Let me just finish wiping her lashes. So we use the micellar eye makeup remover, and then we use the saline for that secure, like that double security to degrease. I just want to make sure that there's nothing there. This eye still has a little bit of mascara. It was a tricky eye. You have contacts in, do you?
No.
No, okay. Okay, so we just want to make sure. See, there's a little bit of residue still left. So we just want to make sure. Okay, perfect. So we've prepped. I'm just going to do one final one just to make sure I got in the corner if it was hiding there. Okay. Hopefully that should be okay. Still a little bit. Was it by any chance a mascara, a fiber mascara or no? Like a builder kind of?
I don't think so.
No?
Like,
Okay.
it would have been liquid eyeliner or
Ah,
mascara.
okay. Okay. Could be a mixture of just this eye. I don't know why.
It's weird.
I keep wiping it and there's still a little black residue, but I just want to make sure it's completely gone. Sorry if I'm repeating on the same eye.
It's okay.
Okay, perfect. So let me just show quickly like the products. So step number 1 is the micellar eye makeup remover, and then the saline solution. Okay. To the left. There we go. Is that okay? Okay. So once we've done that, I'm going to grab my fan. So it's going to be very important in these services to dry the lashes and the brows before you proceed with anything. Okay, this way you're also able to brush them through, separate them, but also dry them so that they are not wet. If they are wet and you start to apply the glue solutions, they're just going to be a little tricky to stick on. Also, with anything wet, it won't accept the solution. So you're going to see us doing this as well after we remove the lash perm. So this is an important tip that we realize actually helps with the results. Okay, perfect. So we've done that. And now we're going to get our size small pads. I reviewed her lashes. You're welcome, Melanie. You're welcome. Okay, so we're going to do the size small because we want to make sure that the lashes cover the part of the bump. Okay, it doesn't mean that she has short lashes. It's just that the bump in the size small is a little bit bigger than it should be. We're still hoping for those extra small sizes, but we want to make sure that it covers the bump so we have that effective lift. Okay. Before I do this, I'm going to apply our eye care pads. What client of yours is going to say no to a beautiful eye treatment? Do you have a lot of sensitivities, or are you okay with eye patches with the heavy treatments?
Oh, I should be fine.
You're fine? Okay. So obviously prior to your client, you're going to be doing some patch tests with them just to make sure that they're not irritated to any of the solutions and so forth. But what we're going to do is we're going to give them an eye treatment. You can add about $5 to $8 to your service menu to include these because they are a little pricey because of the ingredients. They do give a wonderful treatment and they smooth out the skin. A great thing about these too is that they're going to hold down the bottom lashes so you do not have to, you're not bringing the bottom lashes up to the top when you're lifting because that's going to be a horrible mistake as the lashes will look like hooks going into the eye. Love the holiday collection. Hi Ethel, thank you. Thanks Ethel. Yeah, the holiday, all the aftercare items are great stocking stuffer for your families and so forth. I'm going to get you to open up your eyes. So we're going to hold the bottom lashes. Try not too high up, as many of you can get, but if you do it too close to the waterline, you're just going to be poking into their eye, and they could also get a reaction and start tearing, and you're going to have a hot mess of a lift. Okay, so we're going to apply it on the other one as well. Yeah, these products are great to get for your family members. They're not just if you had a lash lift or a Brow lamination. Okay, you can close down. Let me know how do they feel. Okay.
That feels fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So now we're going to proceed with the pads. Okay, we're gonna grab our glue. Our new glue has like a nice little shellac tone to it. It's a little bit darker than our original glues. And this glue is gonna have more of a stronger adhesive force. Turn one more time, just a little bit. There we go. They have a great adhesive force, so they should allow your lashes to stay on during the service. I know our older glue didn't allow that, so this one should happen. But if you're dealing with stubborn lashes or they have many layered lashes, you may have to also put some glue on the top part to reinforce again those lashes to stay down, but also be very mindful not to put too much glue. You don't want it to become a barrier. So I'm going to flip my pad to the back side where the flat end is of the bump, and I'm going to spread that glue, and I'm also going to wrap it around the corners just in case if they are a customer that tends to tear, I can put some enforcement there, because the worst, it's horrible like if your pad starts to lift during the treatment, because what happens is that lashes tend to get lost underneath it, and it just becomes, for you it's a little aggravating because you're losing lashes, the pad's lifting. So that's why I do a little curve around. Okay, so we're gonna let it dry just for 5 seconds. It doesn't need to dry too much. Once again, our old glue needed more drying time, and we're going to place it close to the water line. I like doing this when I'm on the side of my customer. Overview, you sometimes can't see, like when you're on top of them, you can't really see the water line very well. But if you go from the side of their eye, you can make sure you get it as close as you can. Okay. So we're gonna get the second one, and we're gonna do the same thing. Just that back side, not the free edge. As you can see, I'm holding the thinner part with my fingers. No glue goes on that. That should be lifted and up off of the skin. Okay, so we're going to do this one as well. Let it dry for about 5 seconds, and then we're going to place it on. The nice thing about using the saline as well is great to degrease the skin. Sometimes people around their eye area do get a little bit more oil residue, so you might see that your pad might not stick. Okay, so once we've placed that on there, we're going to start to apply. I'm going to get a bunch of my disposable lip brushes as well to have, so I don't double dip if I'm going to start touching like the mucous membrane of the eye, so I don't want to use the same applicator. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start to apply glue, but in 3 different sections, because the glue also dries fast, but because we also want to take our time. This is going to be the most time we're going to spend on a lash lift, is applying those, rolling those lashes nice and straight up to the silicone pad. So it's really nice to apply it in 3 different directions. Okay. So I'm going to pull out I like to use both my orange wood stick and our nice, wonderful stainless steel lifter tool. So I like to use both. My initial is the orange wood stick because I can put more pressure. And this one I reinforce, and I also can use the pointier end to separate the lashes that they're clumped together. Okay, so I love using both tools, and the lifter tool is very nice. You can disinfect it, sterilize it, and reuse it. Okay, because it's stainless steel. So we're going to start first on this section, the outer. Wait about that 5 seconds for it to dry a little. And then you're going to start rolling. And you're going to do your best to pull it as taut as you can, so you can get that water line to kind of flip over. Sometimes the pads, if they're a little too close, you might see that they might affect it, but I'll move them down a little bit after I continue rolling, just to see if I can get the water line flipping over. The water line flipping over just allows you to have all the lashes fully in view, nice and taut, so that you can apply the solution to the root where it should be. If you can't see the water line, what happens is you're going to be lifting the eyelid up. You're going to be lifting that eyelid up to get that solution close to the water line, and then you're going to you're going to let go of the eye after, and the solution is going to get into their eye, and it's not fun to get the solution in the eye. It's it's not a pleasant experience. So do your best to give your customer that nice little spa relaxation type of service. So pull that water line nice and taut. And I put this pressure, and always, consult with your um, customer. Is the pressure okay? Tori, the pressure's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to move this a little bit down because now I can see I'm not pulling any of the bottom lashes up, but I can see the water line. I don't know if you guys can see it in the camera. Oh yeah, right there. You can see the water. She has a little bit of layers of shorter ones. These ones are going to be very hard to get to stick up. Don't worry if you can't get those little short spunky ones to stick up, you're still going to have that effective result of a lash lift. I still try to do my best to get those little ones to stay up by reinforcing some glue. But once again, don't go too crazy with the glue because it's going to become a barrier. So I'm going to put some even from the back side of the hairs, these ones that were a little bit stubborn. I'm going to force a little bit. I like to enforce over the ones that I did roll a little bit of glue. Like you can barely see the glue on my, I don't know if you can tell, but you could barely see the glue on my, it's a little blurry, on my lip brush. Okay. And once again, with that pressure, roll, elongate those lashes. Okay, and this is where you can start using the lifter tool to reinforce, to separate. If you're finding, see, her lashes are sticking so nice on the pad. If you're finding that you have to roll many times to get them to stick down, and then your glue gets stringy, that means you've rolled it so many times that the glue has dried. So that means that you got to take some more glue. So if, say, for example, this area here had a little bit of that stringy, you take a little bit of your glue, re-wet that area just a little bit, and then you can work that area again so it's not stringy. Stop when you see it get stringy because then you're going to have all that stringy mess up there, and it's not going to allow you to put the solution properly. Okay. So once again, I have very little glue. I'm going to try my best to get those little ones there. Once again, if I can't, no worries. I don't really need to stress. Her bulk of her lashes are up. Now, if I saw that there was a clump area, you can wet that area as well and take your narrow part of your and start to separate it. See how it allows it to be movable, and I'm able to separate. Because once again, if they're all clumped together, that's how your service is going to look, clumped together as you release it. You don't want their lashes to be clumped together. Plus, you want it to be easier for them when they're putting the mascara on. So there we go. We got all her lashes. Sorry about the blurriness. Give me 1 second. Just because I'm doing such fast movements. So basically, I have all her lashes up there. You can look from the side of your customer to see. I never look from the top of my customer. I always walk to the side to see that all her lashes are placed onto the pad. Okay. And I can reinforce them, but always look from the side. You'll be surprised of what you can see of any of the lashes that you missed. Okay. And that's a good application. So now we're going to go to the next one. I'm just going to do a quick. Okay. So let's go to the next one. So you guys can see how nicely and even they are, not clumped together. That's how they should be. So let's start now with the other side, outer corner. So you see how I said this is the part that's going to take the longest time? Truly does, but you don't want to rush this part. This is the part that's going to make sure that those lashes look well at the end. Oh, I do see. I think it is your eyeliner.
Oh,
I do see some black. Is it a waterproof eyeliner?
I don't think so, but
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, I see some black in there still.
I don't
As I
know.
flipped your lashes, yeah. So that's why very important, make sure that you spend some time in your prepping, but I can see a little bit on this side that there's still some of that, um, it must be the eyeliner. That's okay. Okay. Yeah, her lashes are sitting really nicely on the pad, which is good. Okay, so then we're gonna do the rest. Some people might need 3. She only needed 2 sections that I need to do. And then you're going to do your reinforcing. Remember, I put some pressure as I'm rolling. I'm pressuring down as I'm rolling, and the pressure does not affect them, but just ask them. Don't assume, always ask your customer that they are feeling comfortable. Try to get even those inner ones. And once again, try to get that water line over. Okay? Okay, perfect. We're going to do a little bit of reinforcing and then we're going to be good to go. Okay, so we're going to do a little, some of the areas I need a little reinforcing. Once again, my glue is very little. Okay, don't overdo it. Don't let it become a barrier. Remember, our solutions are so much faster now, so we don't want anything to interfere it. And you can see when your stick, it's kind of hard to tell on the camera, but you can see like when the stick gets a little bit darker, it's because there was some residue left on. Okay, I think we're good. I'm gonna go from the side of my customer, like or my model, and I'm gonna look to make sure. And the size small was perfect for her. Okay, there we go. So you guys can see how nicely placed the lashes are. Let me know that everything's good so far. And what we're going to do is we're going to start mixing our solution. Everything good so far? If people want to give me some thumbs up, that would be awesome. And I'm going to get the solutions ready. So if you buy a kit, in your kits you have, perfect, thank you, Jessica. So in your kit you have 2 sets of solutions. Oh, lots of thumbs up. Thank you guys. Thank you, thank you. So there are 2 sets of solutions if you buy a kit. And I always say the first set of solutions, mark them. So when you open up the first set, right here you see the lash perm and the neutralizer. Thank you, Chelsea. Put the date of when you open because the tubes do expire 2 months after opening. Otherwise, on the back, on the tail end, it says this one doesn't expire until February 2025. But you want to make sure that you mark it because 2 months can creep up to you really, really fast. Thank you guys. Thank you. And another thing is close your caps right away. When you don't close your caps, what you will notice next time is all this has gotten darker from the solution, like a dark purple. When it comes out, it's a rosy solution, but as it oxidizes, it gets purple. So when you see, you have to toss away that first portion when it's purple because it's been oxidized and now you're wasting that product. Where's your profitability? So close your caps right away. Okay. Don't let that air get into them. So I'm going to squeeze my pea size. You're going to see what it looks like before the lash perm. It's got like a, it's going to be hard to tell on the camera, but it's got like a rosy, like a very soft blush color. And as it oxidizes, it gets purple, much more purple. Okay. So if you see that already in your tube when you open it, it means you're not closing them properly. And that part has been oxidized. Okay. And that could be a big difference in your results as well. Okay. So I may have to squeeze a little bit more depending because we're doing her brows as well. Great, we're gonna apply it on the brows also. I like to stir it a little bit. Not that it needs mixing, but I like just to stir it so I can get a nicer just consistency because I'm gonna try and make a little ball on the end of my brush. So I just like to mix a little bit. And can you see it's getting pinker and pinker? Oh, it's kind of hard to tell on the camera, but it's getting pinker and pinker and it's gonna get darker. So remember how we lifted that water line? If you go not from on top of them like this way, if you go from the side, obviously you guys can't see me, but you see me moving to the side, I can see her water line properly. And when I'm applying it, I can get very close to those roots because that's where the push has to happen. Okay, by the roots. Don't sit there spreading it too much. I take a little ball on the tip of my brush and I dab it, and I dab it very close to her waterline, but without touching that skin, because that's where they can also get an irritation, especially also if they're really, really sensitive. Some people could even react to the fumes because at the beginning there's a little bit of that permy smell, and then it just starts to dissipate in like 10 seconds, which is a good thing because you don't want to have that like 80s perm smell of a salon while your customer is trying to relax. Okay, and we're going to put it from the roots to the center. You're going to leave your tips free. Tips are left free because also it is the old growth. So depending if they had sun damage or any damage from another service, like somebody did a bad lash lift, or they had extensions and they weren't like their lashes did get a little bit compromised from the lash extensions. So that's the tail end of them are old growth. So if you put solution on them, is you might give them that more damage. And we don't want that. We don't want any fraying or anything like that. So also when you don't put the solution all the way from tip to end, you're not overweighing the surface down, right? Because the push has to happen from the root, and then we don't want to weigh it too much. So I'm just doing these nice little round balls in the end of my brush. And I'm also the ones that are sticking up, the shorter ones that didn't want to stick. I'm wetting those as well because potentially when I relax them, before I do step number 2, any of the lashes that popped up, I can re-glue them down. Okay? Perfect. So we have this done and we can start the timer. And our new solutions are 6 and 4 minutes. So the first step is 6 minutes. Okay? So we're going to do, and I'm going to start the lashes first because what people do is they have 2 timers. I somehow have an internal clock from doing all these for so many years. So I'm going to set up the lash one, and I know how to want to take the brow off. But other people, they love to do 2 timers just to make sure that they can distinguish between the lashes and the brows. To see how the surface is done is so cool. Oh, thank you, Lalani. Yeah, that's why today I said no PowerPoint because I tend to talk a lot. No PowerPoint. Let's get straight to the service. So when I do a brow lamination, so thank you for saying that, Lalani. When I do the brow lamination, I'm going to do my best because I don't put protection cream because I don't want the protection cream to get into the solution and compromise the solution. So I'm very careful. And if I see that I've spreaded it on too much of skin area, I always have Q-tips to remove it right away. Okay, so always clean that area if the skin had a lot of the solution go on it. So for example, now if I want right away, I can see that, I went on her skin a little too much. I'm going to remove that right away. That way you can also keep the redness to a minimal. Because we're going on their skin, of course they're going to have a little bit of irritation, a little redness because of the sensitivity. But if you're careful and remove it from their skin right away, they shouldn't have. And that way also it's good for waxing afterwards. So we're putting on the solution, being generous so that we can make sure it penetrates. And if you want to use a plastic wrap, you can. You just got to condense the timing by a minute. So instead of 6 and 4, it's going to be 5 and 3. And I'm going to show you some tips as well. So I'm going to wipe See around her skin? I'm trying to wipe that. Okay, perfect. We're going to do the other side. Did you mix solution with something? No. Can you do this over brows that have been... Okay, so let me ask this question. So can you do this over brows that have been microblading? Yes, you can. As long as there's hair, you can relax it. As long as it's not freshly done the microblading. If they had just done the microblading and they need that 1 month period to heal, do not put anything on that area, or else you're going to cause a major inflammation or some kind of reaction. So if it's past the time that they need that healing time and they're not going back for a touch up, yes, you can, as long as there's hair, because the brow lamination works on hair. The second question was, do you mix solution with something? No, I did not mix it with nothing. I just like to stir it just to spread it around so I can get a good consistency. That's just me. But you don't mix it with nothing. Straight how it comes out the tube, that's how you use it. And I tend to do these dabbing techniques. Sometimes you don't want to sit there rubbing if their skin might be sensitive. So I like to do this little, get my ball again and do my dabbing technique. Just, and also to get a lot more. So let's get these little ones. These ones up here, as they relax, they're going to get a little bit longer. So we may have to do a little trimming. Okay, so I'm going to get my plastic wrap ready. The lashes are almost going to be time off in about under 3 minutes. So that's good. Is this the same solution used for the lashes? Or nope, same solution. Lash lift and brow lamination and lash curl, they all use the same solution. The lash perm and the neutralizer are all the same for all 3 services. Yeah. So potentially if you went today and went and bought a brow lamination kit, or I mean a lash lift kit, you can do both brows and lashes. Okay. Okay, I'm just cleaning the area. I'm going to get a plastic film, and then I'm also going to show you, so halfway through the timing of the 5 minutes at 2.5 minutes, I am going to go into the brows and comb them because I want to evenly distribute that solution, and I want to see how well the brows are taking. It's like you're monitoring them, right? So I take these little, so let me put the plastic film. I'm using an actual plastic film. I'm sure you can check with your distributor, but I'm using one that's actually created for brows because it's thinner than our kitchen one. Our kitchen one is very, very thick, our cling wraps. So if you are going to use a kitchen one, you should remember to condense that time because it's thicker, occlusive. The penetration will be faster from that heat. But these ones for the made for the lashes, for the brows, sorry, are thinner. You can tell it's much thinner. Okay, so I have purchased these little lip brushes, not lip brushes, sorry, these little dental brushes. And I'm going to use these to brush through the brows halfway through the timing. Sometimes you try to do it two times if you can. So is the timing different for brows and lashes? No, the timing is the same. It's 6 and 4 minutes on lashes and brows. If you're going to, sometimes you can do 8 and 5, depending on the type of brow or lash that they have. If their lashes and their brows are very, 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 very unruly and thick and layered, yes, go 8 and 5. Otherwise, a new solution of 6 and 4 will do well for those thin to medium types of lashes and brows. You don't want to overextend the timing. Okay. What about eyebrow waxing? Eyebrow waxing is done at the end, never before. You will cause, to some people, even severe inflammation and irritation and scarring because you're removing pores with the wax. You have those open pores. I mean, not removing pores, you're removing hairs. So those pores are going to be open from removing that hair follicle. And then when you put the solution on, it's going to irritate. And also, if you were to tint, wax first and then tint, you're going to leave all these little splotches all over into those pores, okay? Did I answer everybody's question? If I didn't, please repeat it again. Okay, so it's time to remove. So my brows, I know it has 3 more minutes still for my brows. So that's my internal clock. But before I remove the lashes, I'm going to go in. I'm going to open up one. So about a minute into it, I'm going to, so can you see how they're relaxing? And this tool distributes it nice. With a mascara wand, you're going to lose a lot of the solution. Also, it's too thick, it's too clunky, it's too harsh. Those little ones are better than dental brushes. I'm going to clean her skin. And I'm going to close it again. So you see how nice it's taking? Ooh, the info is key to know for waxing. Yes, it's very, very key. Remember, we don't want to do anything to irritate our customer. Okay, our client. I'm going to do the other side. How are you feeling, Tori? You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Check in with your customer. I know if they fell asleep, it's a good sign. But also check in with them just to see that they're not feeling any irritation. Sometimes a customer may not want to bother you and they're feeling irritated, but you don't want them to like suffer through it. If they're feeling irritated, they should let you know, and you should always inquire to make them feel comfortable. Okay. So let's clean that area and we can close it back down. Okay, and leave it for the remainder of the time. Now, you brush your brows after the solution's been, yeah, within the 1 minute, brush it, and then you can go again a second time. Within that 6 or 5 minutes, because we put a plastic wrap, I only have 5 minutes. Try to go in as best as you can twice inside and brush them, okay? The brand originally got training from glued down the brows. Is a solution. We do have you can use the glue, the lash lift glue to do them. They don't. So one less product for you to use. Let me remove the lashes while I'm talking. So one less product for you to use. If you are going to use the glue, I am going to be putting on our website tips on how to use the glue for both lashes and brows because some people do struggle sometimes with the glue. So we have some tips so you can see. I've never had to use the glue for the brows because I have the plastic wrap as my solution, right? It holds down those stubborn, but if you do, you can. Once again, that glue has to be applied so little. Okay, you cannot apply a lot of that glue or else you're going to have a barrier. So I could see whatever mascara she had on was a good one. It's a heavy duty one because there's some still coming off, right? So that's why when people say, "Oh, they didn't come in with any makeup," I'm fine. No, no, no. Still do your cleanse. Okay. And her lashes stayed on. Very nice. Nothing. Uh, the little ones that we had said that we couldn't get to, they're still there. Okay, let me take that. So remember how I said you can go a second time back into the brows. Now, ideally, if this is too much for you to do both at the same time, practice. But it's good to be able to do them both at the same time because you're not leaving your customer coming back in 24 hours. They're getting it all done. So I'm gonna remove the plastic wrap because the timer for her brows is off. So I don't want that heat in there. I'm gonna remove the other side of her lashes, and then I'm gonna remove the brows. Okay. And dry Q-tip. They're dry Q-tip, okay? Anything wet is going to interfere with the lashes, release the lashes, and we don't want that. And you roll until you start seeing that your cotton roller is not pink anymore, like that pinkish solution, okay? That's why I tend to go over it a lot more times because I don't want I want to make sure there's nothing there because if there was something there before you went to your next if you to go to your next step of the neutralizer and there's still some lash perm on there, it's going to be occlusive. Like it's not going to allow the neutralizer to do what it's got to do. So the lash perm, what it was doing is that it was releasing those bonds, it was breaking them down so that the hair can become moldable. Think of pasta. When we buy the hard pasta, the grain, it's got to be put into water so it can become moldable to our fork. So we need these lashes to be moldable to the back pad. So the lash perm is going to relax them. The neutralizer is what's going to give it its new shape. Okay. So very, very important that you remove that. And another step is going to be drying. Okay. So before we do that, I'm going to remove the brows as well. because they've relaxed really nicely. And always pair, actually a brow lamination, but for a lash lift, everybody always wants darker lashes. But for a brow lamination, let them know that they should be doing a tinting afterwards and make sure that you choose the appropriate color and the timing, because once the hair is porous from the brow lamination, the original color that you would always use on them when they would just come in for brow tinting is going to look different. It's going to get darker faster. So just be mindful of that. But during a brow lamination, the hairs do lighten. Okay, so it's very important to let them know that so they understand the reason why. I'm gonna get a brand new one of those dental sticks. I'm gonna leave this aside just another 10 more seconds. But see, they're forming. Where I'm brushing them is where they're going. Okay. Oh, this way a little bit so you guys can see. Yeah. Okay. So the lashes are already done. I'm going to just remove the other brow now. Okay, making sure it's nice and warm solution. I gotta do the little. Now, before you put the neutralizer, you should brush the brows where the you consulted with your client where they wanted their how they want their brow lamination to look. Some people don't want the whole like up like this, where it's like the more soapy brow. Some of them want the more laminated, where it's all forming to the way of the brow. Or you can do the beginning of the brows up and then form the rest to the brow bone. Okay. And once you place that neutralizer, it's going to help form them to that way. Okay. So let's do a little quick drying. It's pretty dry in this room, so it's okay, but we're going to just make sure that the lashes are nice and dry. I'm going to see your questions. Give me 1 second. And then we're going to apply the step number 2. Now, if you feel, so what are you removing the solutions with? Dry Q-tip, dry Q-tip. Okay. What about your removal getting on the tips causing over processing? It's not going to, because it's not left on there. It's not. I'm wiping it off in an upward motion, so I'm not leaving it on the tips. I know, because it is her first. I think it's her first time of a lash lift, so she has virgin hair. So that extra 30 seconds or 1 minute in each lash was not bad. It wasn't going to over process it. Okay, so I'm gonna just show you guys, if you had, say for example, some lashes do pop up, take your glue, a little bit of glue. Her lashes stayed on. It was just those little ones that I knew from the get-go that they were gonna not stay. But because I put solution and I relaxed them a little bit, I could probably get a couple of them to stay up. Okay. And once again, I got a disposable lip brush so I don't cross-contaminate. So I have a lot of these on my trolley. I shouldn't have virgin hair. It's not going to. That extra minute's not going to, because remember, 8 and 5 minutes, you can still do that solution, so it's not going to. Now, if you're sitting there and focusing on the brows and you totally forgot about the lashes and it's been like 3 minutes on there, yeah, you're over processing. So that's why you will need practice. Me right now, I'm talking to you guys, doing a demonstration and teaching. When you're with your customer, you'll have your full focus on your model, but it's great to practice first to make sure that you're able to go back and forth easily. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to squeeze my neutralizer. So my neutralizer is the white tube like this, and then that was the lash perm. Okay. And they say step 1 and step 2. While removing the brow solution and slash. No, we answered that. Okay, good. We answered all the questions. So you have a bowl number 2, brush number 2, because you don't want to squeeze in the same bowl or use the same brush that you had. So be mindful of that, because any of that cross contamination, you're not going to have the results. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing. Apply, and the neutralizer is a nice creamy white one. Okay. So we're going to apply it as well. Try to get that tip. I like to get the tip of my brush, that ball. That way I'm not also wasting product by allowing it to distribute all over the whole brush. Doing those nice dab movements. And make sure you get it where you applied the lash perm, close to the root. Okay. And this is going to stay on 4 minutes because the first one was 6 and 4. We don't put plastic wrap on the eyes just because of that heat and stuff. We don't teach that way. I know some manufacturers do. Okay, so the timing for the lashes have started at 6 minutes, and now I'm going to go to the brows. There's a question, which just, oh no, where is your brush from? The little white one, it comes in the kit, or you can buy them separately. They're RefectoCil, and they're numbered. Sorry, it's hard to tell, but it says RefectoCil, and it's numbered number 1 or number 2. So they are from, from RefectoCil, but they already come in the kit. You can buy them separately, or especially for the brows, and with our new System Intense browns, I also use these. So you'll see me using these when I tint. These are my favorite. I got a wide end and a narrow end of our, and they have a silicone spoolie. Okay, so I'm going to apply. I brushed the brows in the area that I want them to go. And now I'm applying the neutralizer. And then we're going to put that plastic wrap back on. Okay. And then if you had your second clock, you can start the brows, timing your brows. Okay. I'm going to get just a little bit more. Where can the kits be purchased? So Leilani, if you check on our website, there is a part where it says where to buy under the Intense Browns, and you'll see some there, but you can always reach out at education@cbngroup.com, and we can see who closest to you carries the product. Yeah, for both of you, Skylar and Leilani, please email me at education@cbngroup. I'm just going to type it in for you guys. cbngroup.com. Okay. So I had to get some more of the solution, and the neutralizer is much more creamy and much more soothing. But I still will clean the skin area before I put the plastic wrap on. I like to utilize whatever's left in my bowl, so there's no wastage. Okay, so I'm going to clean the skin area. Because once again, you might have customers that are a little bit more sensitive, just to even a touch, right? So you want to make sure. Okay, and then I can do the plastic wrap. And with this step, do not brush the brows. You leave it as it is because the brows are setting now into place. Okay, so there's no need to go in and brush them. Just the lash perm part you wanted to brush because you wanted to make sure that the solution was being distributed nicely, and you can see if the brows were relaxing or if you had to place some more solution in some areas that it sucked it up. Okay, so the lashes have another under 3 minutes. You're welcome. Susie, the dental brushes, you can check and see if distributors have brought them in. They're slowly making ones for these services. Otherwise, I ordered my dental ones online on Amazon because they're legit dental brushes for your teeth. but they work so well to brush. Yeah. And we just bend it like that, and then you're able to brush. So these ones are called Dentek, Dentek. Yeah, but I think more and more what was I gonna say, distributors are going to try to service these because a lot of people love using them. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so now we're waiting for the times. Everything good so far? Do the under eye pads come in the kit as well? They come in the brow lamination kit. Because they're a little pricey, they don't put them in the kits because they're going to end up being expensive. But in my little box, oh, you guys can't see me. In my little box here, I don't know if I can grab. Let me grab it out to show you guys. So they come like this in a nice box. That's why I'm saying they're great stocking stuffers. It's a little pricey because of the so you'll have to check with your distributor the suggested cost, but they're a little pricey because of the ingredients. So they have hyaluron, they've got vitamin E, aloe vera, and they actually do smooth the skin. Like when I use them at demonstrations, at shows, and so forth, people do feel the difference. I clean the house and I walk around with them. So they come in. There's a 10-pack in here. But if you're using them for your customers, add about $5 to $8 to your service, to the service, right? Because so say for example, a brow lamination is $70, it's going to be 78 because it's going to include these in there. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me see what other questions. Do they stick well? Oh, they stick out. They stick really, really nicely. Like I said, I walk around the house cleaning and they're still on there, and they hold the bottom lashes so nice. You see, they never lifted. Even when they get wet with tint, they stay on there. Yeah. Where did you get the? I see little brushes at the drugstore in the section where you find dental floss. Yep, exactly. And where did you get the plastic wrap for brows? The same as microblading wrap. It might be the same as microblading wrap. I don't do microblading, but this one is a Tuya one. So it is a Tuya brow. Brow osmotic film. That's what they call it. Yeah. Yeah, otherwise, did I answer everybody's questions? We have 20 seconds left on the lashes. Yeah, dental sticks, even on I didn't see them on Dollarama because you might get the big fat ones. You don't want them to be too fat, but I haven't seen a Dollarama if they have them. If they do, that's great. Because it's obviously Dollarama, but I just order a bulk pack from Amazon. It's cheaper for me because I'm constantly doing these. So yeah. Okay, so her lashes are done in 10 seconds. And we're going to remove. I know there are many factors that affect price, but can you tell us a good starting price for these services? So we say between 75 to 95, you can charge for a brow lamination or a lash lift, just strictly that. But because we want to pair it with a tinting, and some people do charge 75 to 90, between 75 to 95 with a tint. Because if you take your tinting for a lash, it's about 20 bucks, maybe some people charge, right? Brow lamination, same thing. If you're going to charge about, $80, you can include the tinting as well, right? But in some areas, they start the brow lamination, the lash lift at $75, and then they add, if it's $20, and so that makes it 95. And sometimes with a combo, you want to give them a discount to increase them to purchase a combo and get more services done. So usually whatever you put together, say they're getting a lash lift, a brow lamination, a tinting, and a shaping, you put all those different prices together, and then you take away a discount, a $10 to $15 discount, or 10 to 20 depending, to give them a combo pricing. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to remove upward motions once again. Now, for the sake of timing, I am going to show the tinting on the pads, but generally I remove the pads. I like to remove them, remove the eye care pads, put them underneath the bottom lashes. But for time's sakes, we're going to tint onto the pad. Everybody clearly likes tinting on the pad. I just don't, because it also gets the pad very dirty, and it doesn't go away. Okay. We want to make sure that there's nothing there. We're going to do a little drying as well before we apply the tint. Okay. Because once again, we don't want any solution there. We want the tint to stick nicely as well. And we're going to use the blue black for her lashes. She does have a little bit of a lighter lash. So the blue black will be very nice. Give that nice dramatic effect and that little gloss. Yeah, her lashes stayed nicely on the pad. Very, very workable. Okay, so let me get the tint ready while the brows are being processed. I'm going to grab my blue block. I will show you guys, especially if there's somebody here first time that's going to even be tinting as their services. I'm going to grab the blue black. I have this nice artist palette that's on my hands, so my hands are free. There's some questions. Q-tip is not wet at all still. It's all dry. Are you using the regular tint or no, regular tint? Regular tint for today. In the new year, I will do brow lamination with the intense brown so people can know how to utilize it. For my model today, the intense browns is not for her look that she was going for. So we're going to do the original. Okay. And I got my oxidant cream. So I'm going to put 15 drops. So in these nice little pellets, you have a line so that you can know how much tint to use. What do you suggest blue black instead of just black? The blue black has a sheen to it. So it gives the lashes, when they hit the light, a nice shine. Otherwise, the black, the natural black, is just a matte black. And sometimes you can mix both of them together. Okay, so I'm going to mix this. The brows still have another minute. So you see how you can fill your time by going back and forth, back and forth. If you struggle, if you feel like by the time you start the next step, the other part is going to finish, then stop. Don't continue so you don't stress yourself out. Wait till the timing is done, and then, but I'm able to multitask, and eventually you will as well. So I got a nice creamy texture. Okay. And we're going to apply it on the lashes. And with the tint, we do want the tips so they're not light. And if you were going to do it without the pad, you would brush it like a mascara on, in a sense, okay? You wouldn't pile it down because you don't want to lose the shape. But because this is still on the pad, we're good. So let me just stop my timer. And that's for the brows. Okay. So after a lash lift, the tint stays only on for 2 minutes. Okay, because the if you have thicker, you can go up to 3 minutes, 4 minutes. But because the hair follicle is porous, it's going to take the tint faster. So is this the mix 50-50, half color and half developer? Yes, because the cream is a thick consistency like the tint. That's why it's easier to do the equal parts. Liquid, it would be 10 drops to the 2 centimeters. What's more popular, liquid or the cream? I can use both because I'm fluent in both. But obviously the cream, the consistency, when you become more or even when you're new at the beginning with it, the cream is easier, the consistency to stay into place, to mold, to do the ratios. But at the end, it becomes your own suggestion of what you feel is consistency wise pleases you when you're doing the service. But they both achieve the same results. Some people like the liquid, because they feel like for lashes it can penetrate better into the hair follicle, so they do the liquid. But as long as you get the ratios correct and the mixing looks nice and creamy, you can do that with both. Just with, if you're bleaching brows, that one requires cream only with our blonde brow. So if her lashes end before I can do her brows, I'd rather remove her lashes first and then go to the brow color because I want to take my time applying it nicely, the brow color. Okay. So right now my timing for the lashes is going to be up. So I'm going to go remove the solution from the lashes and then do the brow. Okay. Okay, perfect. So we're going to start removing it. And you could already see her lashes became dark already. Wait till I remove some more. So you can see how dark her lashes became. They were a little bit like reddishy brown before, like a lighter brown. Okay. Remove the other side. So just remove the bulk of what you can so that when you remove the pad, there's not a lot of the bulk moving around. So I just like to remove as much as I can because I'm also going to want to apply a little bit of water just to clean up. With brows, if it's not intense browns, I don't like to apply water. I remove it dry. Okay, so let's do the brows quickly. We're going to do a light brown. Okay. So we're going to do the light brown. We're going to mix it with the cream as well. I got the other end of my artist palette that I could use. So you see I've got two wells, so I can put in that one. I'm only going to do half of the ratio because I don't need that much. And I'm going to just put half of the, whatever I squeeze out there, that's going to be the same in the, sometimes the 2 centimeters is too much. That's why I don't always go by 2 centimeters because it could be a waste. Oh, there's a lot of comments. Is there specific brands of Q-tips I like? Did I miss anybody else? Oops, not copied. I don't know why I copied it. I stopped using the Q-tip brand because it was so fluffy residue, and I just bought these on Amazon and I love them. They are lint free, like they don't. Yeah, the Q-tip brand tends to leave residue behind. So it's whatever you're going to find is going to be good. You don't see all these little pieces left behind. So I had to test and I bought these ones and I love them. I don't know what the brand is. Sorry. I think I threw the packaging away. As a cosmetologist who mainly does hair, makeup, and salon, I find this so fascinating. Can't wait to hopefully offer this service soon. Thank you for being thorough, showing the process and explaining stuff. Oh, thank you, Lilani. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, and since you do hair as well, you're going to find custom coloring a lot of fun with the colors. You can mix them and play around, and bleaching, right? Since you're more elaborate in doing that. Okay, so let's just mix. I'm just mixing the brow tinting, and then once we're done that, we can see the complete look. While I put the brows on, I could, and be mindful after brow lamination, even if our instructions say up to 3 minutes, up to like, if you originally, your client came in for a light brown, you're leaving it for 10 minutes. No, that's not going to happen because we say up to. But what I say is if you're going to leave it for 2 minutes on, say, okay, I'm going to leave it for just for 2 minutes. At a minute you're going to check the brows to see if it's your first time doing this double service with your customer, because it will take faster because of the pores, okay? The hair, sorry, the pores, the hair being porous. So the complaint sometimes I hear is that people's customers were really upset. Professionals or customers were upset because it was too dark. So just be mindful to always check. And if you're using the intense browns, you don't condense any time, nothing. You use it as is. Okay. It's a natural vegan. It doesn't have a not like it doesn't go into the hair shaft like the oxidant does, oxidative tints. So we're just doing a light brown, just so that it's not too dramatic for them. But I do suggest to sometimes mix your natural brown, because a light brown sometimes can take a while to process. So adding a little bit of that natural brown is not bad, because then you create a nice medium look. And once again, if you were going to do the intense browns, you would want to brow map the brow very properly and clean the brow area nice and clean, because if there's any solution on it, it's going to interfere with the service. Okay, so let's remove the pads of the lashes so that we can see how they took, and clean the eye area and just applying in any of the areas. Okay. What if she wanted to tinted lower? Yeah, that's why you would remove the pad. We just did it for time saving purposes. We needed to do it on the pad. I don't usually do it that way. Yeah. The tint will stain the lift pads and doesn't look nice. What can we do about this, or do we just throw them out? That's why I don't tint on the pads. I remove the pads and then tint. I never do it this way, but just for purposes of our time, I had to do it this way. It's better to remove and do the tinting properly, because you can get close to the root as well. So we just got to be careful because we have the brows on. I'm going to grab the pad, and with my wet cotton pad, I'm just going to follow along. Now we don't want them to open up their eyes until we clean all that excess amount of tint that could be hiding, just like where the eyeliner was hiding or the mascara was hiding. And plus, my cotton is not drenched. I don't want to be too wet because I don't want to lose that shape of the lashes. If you that's why we tell people don't take a shower for the next 24 hours, and don't wash the face, like your brow areas, don't go over them with anything. Don't do a sauna, don't go swimming, stuff like that. Don't put any oils, don't put any makeup, because you don't want, the pores are open within that 24 hours. So we don't want to do anything to release that surface. I just touched a little bit of her brow. And also you can put protection cream to keep it the shape nice and not stain unnecessarily the skin. I tend to be I like to be as clean as I can with that Q-tip. Okay, so we're going to release. See how easy they release? It's really nice. And I'm going to grab and just follow. And we're going to be able to do a proper cleaning once I can remove the brows, because right now I'm going to be going over the tinting of the brows and I don't want to. So as I mentioned, what you can do is remove one brow to see how it's taking. And if you still have some more tint, usually you still have some more tint left over, but you can remove the one brow to see how it's taking. Turn it this way, yeah. So see, she has a lot of warmth, but her hair is already warm. So it's okay for her to have this warmer effect. Okay, if I wanted to leave it a little bit longer, I can for another minute. Okay. So basically we just go over again. Remember, this is not meant for skin staining. So if she had done the intense brown, yes, she would have had that more skin staining to fill any of those areas. So that's what you would do. You just go back. But once again, for time, so I'm just showing you, you can go back, but for timing purposes, we're going to just start removing so we can clean and you guys can see. But that's all you have to do to go back. But that's why it's really good to monitor halfway through the timing to see if the color should be left longer or not. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to take dry cotton. If you want to put a little bit, like a little speck of water, you can. I just like to do it mostly dry. If there's any staining on the skin, you can do it with water, or we have our tint remover. Okay. Okay, so let's clean the eye area so that we could see the final. You hold their skin too as you're removing them so that we can see the final thing. So let's clean the eye area properly. You can already see that her lashes are nice and dark. Just water the cotton around, a little water. Yep, a little bit of water. If we weren't doing a lash tint, would we remove, clean the same way with a wet cotton pad? For the lashes, yes, because you don't want any of that any residue from the neutralizer, the last. And if there's any like creeping tint in the inner corner, right? And there's any glue, because sometimes, from the glue that we did, they can't open up their eye. So make sure that you release glue from the corners, from the inner corners. Okay. Let's do that with the other eye. And then we're going to do the final thing, which is the aftercare, the styling gel on both lashes and brows. So let's remove a little bit of that glue, inner corner as well. And sometimes the tint gets trapped in there too. Okay, so once I made sure, yep, open and see. How do you feel? Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So as she opens, I can see if there's anything underneath here that I need to clean. Okay, and what we're gonna do as a final step is our styling gel. So have disposable mascara wands so that you can apply the styling gel. I like to use our spoolie ones. I like to use our spoolie from our brushes. I'm gonna squeeze some on the top of my glove. And I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna get you to look, focus somewhere straight so I can put on the. And what you could do before, which I probably should have showed you, is if you dry the lash before, like take the fan. Oh, I'm a little blurry. Hold on. I'll try to fix the camera. The brow tint, I left it full 3 minutes. Yeah. Yep, you can tint the lashes without the lift. People just come in for a tint. But basically what you would have did is had the fan going on her lashes. And with a brush, you would brush them up like this with the fan. And they would actually dry and lift even more. Sorry. So because I put the styling gel on that, but I'll show it still. Because it's drying, you know when you blow dry your hair and you put it through with a brush and the heat or the air helps to form to that. That's what we're trying to do here. Because as they dry, they'll show even more. Okay, so that's what I would do. And now I can apply the styling gel. So she's going to look focus somewhere. And then we're going to apply it on her brows. If you had to do any shaping, you would shape and then put this as a last step. I don't know if you remember before, but her brows here all went downwards. So now they're nice and upwards, flowing to the shape of her brow bone. If there's any trimming that you need to do, you can do the trimming. Okay. So they look amazing. I have to go, but thanks for the refresher. Oh, thank you. Absolutely gorgeous. I can't move the camera too much or else it's going to, I'm going to bring it lower. Oh, did I lose you guys? Are you guys still there? You guys can hear me? Looks good, right? Yeah. See how dark, nice and dark? And just at 2 minutes, her lashes became dark. Okay. Yeah. Easy to do it together. Get ready. Can't see, but can hear. Oh, no, you can't see. Okay. But everybody can see the difference. Wow. How beautiful it looks. How nice and plump the lashes look and the brows. Look how much fuller they look. Okay. And even just that 3 minutes of the light brown was good. Okay. Holiday ready. She's ready. You're welcome, everyone. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the class. Any questions, further questions? In your thank you email, you will get the recording. Please make sure you download it on your desktop somewhere because the recording tends to go away afterwards. Can she stand? The thing is, I can't move my camera or else it's going to disconnect us. I'll take an after picture and I'll post it in my stories. Is that good? I'll get her to stand up, and if she lets me do that, like take a picture of her, I can post it on it, okay? Unfortunately, my camera will disconnect us, okay? What pads do you use without the lift for lashes? You can use the same ones. You can use these, the eye care pads or our black silicone pads, okay? But any questions you guys have, education@cbn Group. Don't go yet for 1 second. I just want one more thing to show you guys. Just give me 1 second. One thing I want to show you guys is we do have a contest. Gorgeous. Oh, thank you. Your IG handle. Okay, it's right here. So good you asked. See how nice even her eye color pops out, right? With the darkened lashes and the brows. So giveaways. This giveaway we're running until, thank you guys, until December 23rd. You can, every week we're giving away an Intense Browns kit. So if you've yet to try it and you're in the US, you need to be trying this system. It's compliant with the FDA and you're able to now offer tinting services freely in certain states where it was banned. So every week from now until December 23rd, what you do to win a Intense Browns kit, you must follow us on our IG, and you can see there's RefectoCil North America and Browista by RefectoCil. There's underscore Browista underscore by underscore RefectoCil, and like us on Facebook, which is the RefectoCil North America. Every week, because you can enter every week. Okay, so every week, like a new post, and in every new post you like, tag 2 new professionals. So this week, you're going to tag 2 professionals. Next week, 2 new ones. Okay, until we finish this contest. So hopefully the instructions are easy. Share with us even on your webinar about the webinar. If you took any pictures during the webinar, put them on your stories, extra bonuses. Okay, so thank you so much. You're welcome. You're very welcome, everybody. And I wish you guys to have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. And thank you to our model too, to Tori. Thank you so much, guys. Bye. I didn't. No. Yep.